What's good, y'all? I want to give a quick shout out to one of our September sponsors, Ash and Elm Cider. If you don't already know, Ash and Elm are all about that cider life, crafting theirs from real, regionally sourced ingredients and doing it right here on the east side of Indianapolis. And while they celebrate cider all year round, they turn it up to 11 for Autumn Tidings, their annual fall festival happening this year on October 18th. Go to ashandelmcider.com to learn more, grab your ticket to Autumn Tidings, and discover why so many people love Ash and Elm. Rooted in tradition, crafted for today. Ash and Elm, conversation piece. Y'all know what it is.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to a very special edition of Conversation Piece, your place to discover the untold stories of Indianapolis through the perspectives of all of its incredible people. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and this is the butter edition of the Open Door, where we literally open the door to the bus and talk to members of the community about whatever is on their hearts. I want to quickly shout out Life in Indy and the team over there for sponsoring this series. And I want to shout out the team at Butter, shout out the team at Gang Gang for putting this event on for 5 years now and for doing really impactful stuff for the city. It means a lot. If you're interested in the Open Door or anything Conversation Piece related, go to conversationpiecepod.com. You can find all of that there. And without further ado, we're going to get into it right now. My guest today is Tirus Duncan. Tirus, what's good, bro?
Nothing much, Patrick. How are you?
I am doing well. It is not super hot outside, and it feels good.
The weather is actually pretty great.
Yeah. I got a little yard work in before I came over here, you know, the classic weekend stuff. So, well, for people who may not know who you are, do you mind sharing just a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Tirus Duncan. I'm the founder of the brand Everybody Somebody, as well as a podcast, The Journey Up. I always tell people I'm a person who likes to inspire and influence people to become the best they can on this journey of life. Because I think we all just need a little bit of inspiration to be better.
For sure.
And at times we forget the value that we have. So through Everybody Somebody, our mission statement is to spread awareness that no matter what you do or who you are, your life has value. So I do that through by way of clothes, by interviews, hosting live events, just different ways getting people to see the value that they have within themselves and also experience the value that other people have within themselves as well. And on my podcast, The Journey Up, I give people a chance to come and have a conversation about the lowest moment that they've ever experienced, and we talk about how they overcame it. So it's kind of healing for other people, but it's also healing for me.
For sure.
To let me know that there's a way up from the low moments, because we all go through low moments.
Totally.
And when you're in those low moments, you often don't see a way to the top. But to hear somebody tell a story about how they were once low and now they're better encourages you to continue, which is the best thing that you can do.
It is truly one of the best things that you could possibly do. I appreciate that because there aren't enough platforms and fewer people who empower somebody to share, to be not only safe enough, but brave enough to step into that space and share that low moment.
Right.
Where does that come from for you? Did you have to go low yourself in order to be like, okay, this is the work that I want to do? Or
yeah, it's almost like a call. So when you feel a call, you have no choice but to answer it, unless, or if you don't answer
you
it,
keep it on ring.
You can leave it on ring, but it keeps ringing.
Yeah.
So you might as well answer it and deal with it. So it's kind of like a call. And as somebody who experiences low moments quite often, and also been the founder of a brand called Everybody Somebody, wanting to see other people and see myself and other people, I had to realize I know I can't be the only person who goes through low moments. So understanding that, I know that it is healing and saying how you feel out loud.
Yeah.
So to provide the space that people could get whatever they're feeling outside of themselves, it should make them feel better, and it often makes me feel better as well.
I love it. Well, that might be what's on your heart right now, because I think it's hard to not have that on your heart, especially in the moments that we're living in at this current time. But what is on your heart right now? Is there anything in particular you want to chat about?
I don't know. I think it might be that.
Okay.
Like, just being that person, I carry a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So being a person who has a self-proclaimed, not even self-proclaimed, I think my therapist told me the same thing, having the savior complex of thinking I have the ability to save people, and not just the ability, but I feel like it's my duty to try to save everybody.
Oh, okay.
It kind of gets heavy.
Sure, that is heavy.
Yeah, I always reference Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire.
Sure.
And he was like, you know what? I don't want to be Spider-Man anymore.
Yep.
And he took off the suit and threw it away, but the call was still there.
Yep. Still ringing.
It was still ringing. Like, he walked past a burning building, and there were kids and everything, and they're screaming. And Peter Parker ran in the building to save the children. And they're like, sir, what are you doing? Because they didn't know that he was Spider-Man.
Right.
And too often, do people forget that Peter Parker is who was behind the Spider-Man mask?
Exactly.
And that happens in our real lives too.
Yeah.
Like, people will see me, Tirus, being a person who always has a word of encouragement and a word of motivation to help somebody try to become better. But sometimes that mask has to come off.
Sure.
And Peter Parker has to come out.
For sure.
He says, I don't want to do this anymore. But that call still happens.
Yeah. Just still gotta, like I said, still gotta answer that because it's gonna keep ringing. You can ignore it, but it's gonna keep going. Is there, are there people that inspired you that you saw growing up? You said that you've been hearing this call for a long time. Are there people that you saw like in your life that were living and stewarding community and people in this way?
Absolutely. So my two biggest inspirations, I always say, my father. It's just impactful to have a father in your life. It's especially in our community. It's just not something that's seen so often. So me having my father be there to establish the certainty of, hey, I'm here. Just being that presence. Like, I learned so much from him, not by just what he said, but also by what he's done. So just learning from him being in my life has pushed me to be where I am now.
Yeah.
And it also carries me to get pushed even farther. This is where I want to go.
Mm.
And another piece, my grandfather, who recently just passed away last month.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But he's definitely the biggest inspiration in my life.
Mm.
He was a pastor and a teacher, and just knowing where he came from to where he ended is special.
Yeah.
He was born in Arkansas back in 1940.
Okay.
And to come from being a sharecropper, living in a slave house, literally picking cotton, to moving up north, to answering his call to become a minister, to establishing his own Bible college, to going to Oxford University to speak, to write a multitude of books. It's like, man, there's literally nothing that you can't do if you don't set your mind to it.
For sure.
And if you don't push yourself. My grandfather's a very self-motivated person, almost to a fault sometimes.
Sure.
Because sometimes we'll be like, oh, I can do anything.
Yeah.
And you actually need to probably reach out to somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
And I have some of that within me, and I'm like, okay, I see where it comes from. But his presence was so big in my life that everything that I do now, I see it being a reflection of who he was.
Mm.
And he would mention, like, when he'd be up there preaching and everything, and he'll just mention me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And talk about everybody, somebody, or I actually had him on my podcast earlier this year in April. And it's special to have that to look back on.
Sure.
For him to talk to me in a vulnerable state, because he's a 85-year-old black man from the South.
Yeah.
They're not open. They're actually very hard. And not to mention, he's a pastor on top of that. So it's just been very hard, cutthroat, straight to the point. That's who he was.
Yeah.
But I was able to get through to him and have him open up to me to a point to where tears were shed.
Mm.
So that was a special moment, a special memory that I'm able to look back on even now and think about how special of an influence he was to me and how I would not be who I am today if I did not have the guidance, the leadership, the encouragement, the vision, just the motivating factor that him as a grandfather, that he was to me.
100%, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's so powerful because you share about not only your father, but your grandfather and like the modeling that they do. We talk a lot about modeling on the show and how for a long time we didn't really have models for what like healthy, like mental health relationship, like how to navigate just relationships in general, build community, be yourself. And the fact that you had that, but not only that, your relationship was able to get you to a point where you could then model for him, your models, what it looks like to be even more vulnerable, to tap into that, to lead through emotional intelligence or whatever that might be. It's sharing and to be able to have that moment. I think that's really, really, absolutely incredible.
One thing he always encouraged me on was, cause I would, you grow up trying to tell people certain things.
For sure.
Especially being leaders, I don't believe that leaders are people who choose to be leaders. You're chosen to be a leader.
Mm.
So when you answer that call to be a leader, even still, there are some times where you bump your head trying to get people to understand certain things.
Sure.
And we would think that, oh, I told them about it. I told them this is what they should do. I tried to show them, or, basically just tell them.
Yeah.
But the reality is, my grandfather told me, people will see you more for what you do than what you say.
Actions over words.
So just do good. And even when people are not accepting what it is that you say, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, maybe one day they will be able to be encouraged. Maybe one day they'll be able to understand what it is that you're actually trying to tell them. Even looking back now to the things my dad would tell me when I was younger and I didn't understand. And I'd be like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. I can call him up today at 27 years old and be like, you know what, Dad, you're right. I may have not listened back then, but just to see you be consistent through your actions, I was able to learn through the consistency. So just to remember that people see you more by what you do than what you say. People can say whatever they want.
Yep.
That's why it's hard to, trust people. It's hard to listen to what people say because they could, make something sound however you want it to sound.
For sure.
You can tell somebody anything they want to hear, but it's somebody's action matching what they're doing. There's a scripture in the Bible where Jesus said, they love me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. So there's a lot of people who love with their lips, who say it with their mouths, but their actions do not match what it is that they say. So it's like, is that love really? And there's another scripture that said, love not in word, but in action. So to do things properly means so much more than to just say things.
Man, I feel like I can't wait to share that to the world because I think that's what we miss a lot in not just Christianity, but religion in general it virtue signals, I think, and we use it as that to say, hey, we are on the right side, and yet what we're actually doing does not equate to what the message of the Bible or the message of Jesus or whoever, whatever religion that you are part of, shares. It might be too soon, but I think we've gotten into it a little bit, and this year's theme for Butter is remembrance. And so I kind of want to ask you, because we've been kind of thinking about your grandfather, your father, and thinking about the lessons that they imparted on you. What does that mean to you right now? What does remembrance mean to you?
Just been in the mind state that I've been in with the passing of my grandfather within this past month. Your memories are everything. But the memories and the moments that we experience, who we are today is nothing without what we've been through before. So just to think back and remember the things that we've been through, whether it be for better or for worse, good and bad, the happy moments, the sad moments, all of the above, all of those things together make you who you are today. So when I think back to my memories, and I'm like, man, I really didn't like that, or I really love that, I understand that we go through what we go through to get to where we meant to. Shout out my brother Murdoch.
Damn.
So understanding that and then looking back on it, wisdom is not found just through reflection, but understanding what you're reflecting. That's where the wisdom comes.
100%.
Yeah.
Your past, your memories, that's the context that informs your actions that you take now.
Yeah.
Which leads you into your future. What you want to do and what you want to be. And then you're constantly creating new context for yourself.
Absolutely.
To learn.
Even on top of that, it's like everything that we see today is only passed down through stories.
100%.
So us to be in the position that we're in now to help continue to tell the stories, to encourage just this generation, but also the generation that follows, that something is possible more so than what you see.
100%.
In this current moment. So that's what memories are for me. Like the stories are
I love it.
Yeah, everything.
It's the same for me, especially as I've gone through my own identity journey of just like, what do I need to understand, and realizing, oh, there's so much that I intentionally and unintentionally suppressed and ran away from and locked away in order to survive what I thought was, or live the way that I thought I was supposed to live. And it's like, man, I wish I wasn't doing that from 10 to 30, so I had that 20 years.
But even to that point,
I get to this, could I be further along in the journey? But at the end of the day, it's just something different.
Right.
It's just different.
Knowing what you've been through helps guide where you're going.
Sure.
So even just, again, finding the wisdom through the reflection of what you've been through help guide where you are today.
Yeah.
So even for you to be in the position that you are now, to help open spaces for people to have these conversations, but not just to have conversations, but to self-reflect upon their own journeys and their own identities. You wouldn't be as intimate with the idea if you hadn't gone through it yourself.
100%.
So the ability to be able to go through it and then have the vocabulary to talk about it only makes your journey more special.
Yeah. All of our individual lives and lived experiences are necessary and unique and personal, and they are the context for everybody else's lived experience, and everybody else's lived experience informs you.
Right.
Which is why it's like diversity. I'll say it. Just diverse beings it is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's incredible because you can learn something from literally every single person. Yeah. Even if it looks like, oh, we had the same exact life, I guarantee there are lessons in that life.
No, true.
You can learn.
True.
What does Indianapolis mean to you?
Indianapolis, man, it's a fertile ground at the moment. It's very fertile. It's a lot of dreamers. It's a lot of doers. It's a lot of people who are committed to make something out of something. Not something out of nothing, something out of something, because we have a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So people who are committed to making something happen because they see the raw materials and they want to put something together, because without vision, people perish, but with vision, people could succeed. So Indianapolis right now is a city of vision. It's a city where we have to continue to build and to guide and to push people to be more.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I see our mutual friend, next guest, Brother Jamal, hopping on the bus. But I want to wrap it up. I got one more question for you before we let you get out of here. First off, thanks for sharing and being vulnerable and coming on here real quick just to chop it up. For people out there that are, again, tapping in with you for the first time maybe through this series, what's the best way for them to support you? Where do you need the most help right now? How can they follow you, find you? What do you need them to do? Or somebody, the podcast, let them know.
Yeah. So people can find me. The best place probably is on Instagram at The Great TPD. Everything else is in my bio there. And then if you are a creative, if you're just a human, if you're an artist who wants to connect, just let me know. I'm always inspired by other artists. I'm always inspired by other human beings. Anybody who has a story that they want to say, tell me. We can get something scheduled.
We're going to get it together. Tirus Duncan, thank you so much for coming through, bro.
Appreciate you, Patrick.
100%. ConversationPiecePod.com for everything Conversation Piece. This is the Open Door Butter Edition. I've been Patrick Armstrong, and that's it.